Yeah, this is another video of the failures of public servants when I try to advocate for myself, and so I'm going to record this one, trying again the BC Revenue Services. The number I'm going to call, I'll tell you after I read you what I wrote here. This is September 1st, 2025. To Revenue Services BC at gov.bc.ca. Dear Madam Sir, before I can attempt to file my taxes, I do require a copy of my file with you since I first arrived in BC in 2002. I'm requesting this because I'd like to get some teeth fixed before I lose them, and I have for the last few months not wanting. I can listen to my mouth. It's telling me don't even try it. Chew things that are too hard on this side, and it'll go on this side. I wrote BC Revenue Services has also been included in a human rights complaint that I have already filed, and thus a complete review of my file for any forms of discrimination and or inaccuracies will need to be done before the proceedings. You can either mail me the information requested or respond with it as a PDF file. Okay, and then there was an auto reply thing. It takes 18 to 21 business days. I'm not sure if that's when they were on strike. Then I'm not sure if this is also part of the same auto generic. As an alternative, if you wish to speak to a representative, please call us. And then they give the number that I'm going to call now. And it says, regards, Janelle Napiza. Now, I'm not sure if this is the same email. I'd have to date to the screenshots there because I can't see all the dates of the emails. So I'm going to dial 866 329 9899. That is correct. Dialing, and now speakerphone. Today, by the way, is March 18th, 2026.
Our hours of operation are Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m.
It's 1:40 p.m.
excluding statutory holidays. The Ministry of Finance fosters a respectful workplace, and we appreciate your cooperation.
For your staff, what about for
Please note that staff may
British
end
Columbians?
any calls in which disrespectful or abusive language is used. If you have your 11-digit account number found at the top of your Revenue Services of BC invoice, press 1. To choose from a list of our programs, press 2.
Okay, I guess I'll press 2 because there's no
For student
other
loans,
choice.
press 1. For fair
gonna
pharmacare, press 2.
MSP,
For
I believe.
ambulance billing, press 3. For international student health fees, press 4. For court fines, press 5. Otherwise, press 9.
I'll do fair pharmacare, but it said MSP on a
This call will
paperwork
be
that I
recorded for
received that
quality
says
assurance or training
that I owe
purposes as
600 and something,
authorized under
and I think they would try to get that from
26.c
my
and
CRA
26.e of the Freedom
tax
of
returns,
Information and Protection of Privacy Act.
which I'm pretty sure I
Personal
don't agree with.
information may be collected for the purposes of administering
I'm not going to
revenue
give
services.
BC money
If you have any
while I'm in
questions
BC
regarding
with
the
the worst
collection
dentist I've
or
ever
use
had.
of this information, please speak to the agent on the line.
So that maybe this
If you
the
would like to
Canadian
make a
government
payment
would
using our self-service option,
would
press
value
1.
me to fix my
Please
teeth
note,
once and
agents
for all
are not
instead of
able to
just temporary
process
fixes.
payments. To speak with an agent, please stay on the line.
Okay. I got a headache just for this part so far. I'm dealing with. Sometimes you get somebody who understands, but they can't do anything about it. Like, for example, when I call the ICBC guy in something that's already been posted,
Your call is important to us.
you can tell he understands.
agent will
So
be with
for
you
his
shortly.
department, he kind of suspended my getting notices of payment. But he couldn't escalate, right? He couldn't say, oh, I'll refer this right away to Fair Practices ICBC and they'll call you. You know, because that would be British Columbian centered, right? Like he could maybe make sure I have the number, but... And that's what's sad, right? The efforts we make to advocate for ourselves. sometimes take so much of our time, and it shouldn't happen because it's their failures to begin with, right? Their failures when it comes to their own policies or human rights or fairness.
Thank you for holding. All agents are assisting other callers.
Again, I'm going to say
Please stay on the
that
line
if it
to
doesn't
maintain
mention
your priority
the
in
potential
queue.
waiting time, it's not British Columbian centered. Because if you don't care to add that option, which exists for a long time now, then you don't care about our time and how we might decide to call again a different time or be on the line for a long time. Now, should it be that this option is only when the wait is long, it says? No, I've heard it when it's short. It could say that, or you're, the second in line, but I prefer an estimated waiting period, which could be off by a lot sometimes if there's 3 people waiting. And, for example, it could be 1 minute later or 28 minutes later.
Thank
It depends how long the calls will last if they have a
Please stay
limited
on the
number
line
of
to maintain your priority in queue.
call center staff, right? But again, this is a collection agency, right? It's not related to, solving the problem, getting to the truth, fairness, right? Public service. It's not related to that. It's a collection agency. It's a government collection agency. And they don't want to get to the truth and close a file by not getting money. They will try to get money. So for me, I want to ask, why do I owe MSP this amount of money? What is this from? It could be that it's linked to another province that tries to scam BC out of the money when they didn't provide the services that I was there for that medical reason for, but also that they violated my rights in that other province. Not only that, but trying to take that hospital to court cost me hundreds of dollars when they're not even gonna want to take on my case. They just pretended they would, and they still charge me the fee to file my case. But they proved to me that they don't want to call the witnesses. They somehow want me to have all the information of who the witnesses are, even though we weren't allowed a pen and paper when I was kidnapped by that hospital. And it's one of the reasons why would I go back and visit relatives when most of them don't want to hear what they did to me and the skill sets I used to get out of it. But also, even if they did hear a little bit, they don't care or they don't believe. Who would want to go visit that kind of relative, right? And just be victim of that kind of province that I already left in 2002. So I'm going to have to cut a lot of things, so that means I should stop talking sometimes, so I don't say things I think should be included here and there. Good to be sure you got an updated. Good to be sure your phone's charged. I would rather take
Thank
a
you for
nap for
continuing
my
to
health
hold.
because I'm
Please
still
stay on the
finishing
line
a
to
cold.
maintain your
I'm
priority
sore,
in queue.
and my shoulder pains go all the way to my elbow, which seizes up a little bit when I work at a job that I didn't need to finish or even go to high school for. And also, the pain of the shoulder goes into my neck too. The masseuse I have has an affordable price, but she kind of does the same routine all the time. I have a feeling that she's happy with that. She's busy, just in a perfect way, for booking her appointments. I'd have to work with a specialist, and again, that means dealing with the medical system in BC and or Canada. It's not I could ask the doctor I'm going to meet, hey, do you refer people for physiotherapy? And how easy is it in Prince Rupert to get physical therapy? I would give it a try. They seemed friendly when I went in there once at the hospital. And again, if they're friendly and I want to be friendly and please them, and let's say they give me exercises, I'm more likely to do it if I respect them and feel respected by them. So that would be good too. I did find my ropes that I use my own body weight or mass to work against with these ropes, with these pulleys. I don't know if the paper's there for the instructions because I've never really used it, so it's good to watch the instructions. Okay, so the call is not the same length as this video, so the call is 8 minutes 20 seconds so far. I would like to take a nap so that I can heal more during sleep. It's been hard to do that. But I have to call people to find out why MSP claims I owe them money as a poor person. As a poor person who often gets additional expenses because of the medical system and their failures. And I explain to them, and then I try to get reimbursements from ministries that are supposed to and provide the paperwork. But because they don't like the order or the type of paperwork, it's not the same one they're used to, or because it's out of order in some way or not delivered in the right way inside instead of the mail slot, whatever it might be, for their excuses not to do it as this ministry of poverty creation, then you know that you're not as unwell as the people you're calling or interacting with that work for governments, right? They are very unwell. But the paycheck keeps coming in, which to them is proof they're not that unwell. The proof is not how they do in being, patient-centered or British Columbian-centered, which it should be because they're public servants. The measurement is whether, they survive their day and still get their paycheck. Then they think they're great in their careers and they have a great career that they probably still complain about a lot. And a lot of the times what they complain about is something they play a part in creating because they're unwell. Okay, so how much time will I give here when this organization, it's over 10 minutes, doesn't care to tell me if it's just 2 more minute wait, or if I won't even get in today. Now, when this happens, you kind of wish you can send an email, and that the email will be efficient. Like when you write efficiently, this is how you can serve my needs right now. Send me my file at this address, let's say. And then the response might be generic. Or it might be, oh, this is the way you got to do it. You got to call this number where you never reach anybody, and we'll do it in a timely fashion. No. So often when they don't meet their deadlines for answering your email in 18 to 21 business days, it doesn't say accurately answer your email, right? Because that means there'd be oversight, there'd be quality in their work. It would make a difference that there's quality in their work, but it isn't. It's just about mostly not falling behind. And to succeed at that a lot of time is to get crappier and crappier in their responses. And again, here I'm going to go to maybe 15 minutes. And I'll post this entire video just so I don't waste more time trimming it. I wish I could do this live. I don't know if I can do live now with a MacBook Air, because before I couldn't with YouTube. But even then, you need to be scammed out of too much money for internet in this city to do it, right? Because last time I wanted to book the room at the library that I booked before, it was $15. I don't know for how long you get it, or for the week, or for an hour, or for whatever you need for a phone call. That you try to get privacy, except you don't, because you sometimes overhear the boss next door, or she overhears you. And there's no trust between me and that boss, so really, it's another way I'd be scammed, right?
Thank you for
when you got limited income,
please stay on the line to maintain your priority in queue.
There are limits to how. Did it say please stay on the line, or it didn't? It didn't say where I am in the line, right, in the queue. So it could be. I should ask if I get somebody but I'm hanging up when it's 15 minutes here, and it's 12 and a half. But I'll say, hey, do you guys sometimes know how many people are waiting on the call, like in the queue? Like, are you guys have access to the information on whether there's just 5 people in the queue at this time or 28? And it might help you decide when you want to take a break or not. Like your bosses might say, okay, we got a small queue right now. Why don't you take your break right away? Right? And again, that would be proof. I can't know, but they can know because they're public servant centered. They're not patient centered or British Columbian centered. And again, I've been scammed out on a lot of things. The BC owes me so much money. The Canadian government owes me so much money. And the only way that people would hear about this and pay it and compensate me for it is if we lived in a stable, developed, socially developed country, right? A stable proto-civilization, which is not the case. But again, a lot of you guys are in denial, or you forget about this when it more or less gets solved. And the victimization that happens is not something you really want to talk about, that you do vlogs about, or that you want to address as something that you wish this doesn't happen to somebody else you care about, or don't know shouldn't make a difference if you're sentient, right? That whatever you went through shouldn't happen to anybody else. That's what a sentient, an Homo sapien does, right? Except that's not you. You just, if you kind of somewhat were able to kind of not inhale more vape or whatever from calling one of these agencies, then you won't, let's say, send an email to Marketplace or whatever, right? You won't do as many of the things I do to help others not be victimized. So we're looking at almost 15 minutes here, and I'm going to hang up. And just shows my due diligence, that if I do lose teeth and they say, well, you should have filed your taxes. Well, I didn't want to file my taxes by being victimized, just as a way to get out of a different kind of victimization.
Thank you for continuing to hold. Please stay on the line to maintain your priority in queue.
So that's not for me. So it was 5 minutes and 5 seconds, and I hung up. And this is the underdeveloped country and province that I live in.